like, and subscribe.
And as such, I'm moving a motion that I did provide notice of that is aimed at getting to the bottom of dishonest conduct and attempted foreign interference of the Trudeau Foundation. So the motion is as follows: that given that the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation received a $125 million taxpayer-funded payout in 2002 when the foundation was created by a former Liberal government, 2, the president and CEO and a majority of the board of directors of the foundation resigned recently, 3, the foundation was reported to be incapable of repaying a large donation received from a wealthy individual connected to the CCP regime in Beijing because the donor's true identity is not known, 4, the Canadian Security Intelligence Service had uncovered a plot by the CCP regime in Beijing to donate to the foundation, and 5, it has been reported by the media that some foundation directors had considered calling in the Auditor General. The committee undertake a study concerning the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation and its governance and funding, as well as the management of its taxpayer-funded endowment, provided that the committee hear testimony from A, Morris Rosenberg, former president and CEO of the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation, B, Pascal Fournier, former president and CEO of the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation, C, the Auditor General of Canada, D, the Minister of National Revenue, E, the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry, F, Bob Hamilton, the Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer of the Canada Revenue Agency, G, Sharmila Kaur, Director General of the Canada Revenue Agency's Charities Directorate, and H, other witnesses as deemed necessary by the committee. So, Mr. Chair, as you know, Conservatives have been working hard to get to the bottom of the serious problem of CCP interference in Canadian democracy. It is becoming clear that there was, from the beginning, a concerted effort by the Xi Jinping regime to co-opt and shape the direction of this Liberal government, and that those efforts targeted Justin Trudeau even before he took office. Can you imagine if Conservatives started a Stephen Harper Foundation, put all of Stephen Harper's heirs into leadership positions in the organization, and then pumped $125 million of taxpayers into that foundation? Can you imagine the extent to which Liberals would lose their mind over such an arrangement? But Conservatives would never do such a thing because we will stand with the common people. Liberals like Alan Rock, Jerry Butts, and Justin Trudeau do not want to see powerful people and institutions held accountable. It's clear from their comments. But Conservatives will continue to speak truth to power on behalf of the common people, and we hope that other opposition parties will support us in passing this motion and helping us get to the bottom of this mess. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and I do want to thank my colleague for presenting this motion. I think it's an important motion, and I think that it's in line and spirit with what many Canadians would expect from this committee, and so I do think that it's an important piece of a very important motion that I think members of this committee should take seriously. The parts I don't necessarily agree with within the motion are related to some of just the intent of the motion. So it's my understanding that the Auditor General's office is in receipt of a request from the Trudeau Foundation itself to audit them. So they themselves agree with the member, in this case, that they should be audited. So I agree with that point from both perspectives. It's I think, and our goal at this committee to find a way to actually best account for what's happened here, and I think the person that's best able to do that is the Auditor General. It was made remarks by the member that the most important piece to this would be an independent investigation, and that an independent investigation be conducted by independent offices, and I agree. The Auditor General is an independent office, an independent officer of this place, and could and should investigate this as a matter of perception for Canadians, because of course the conflict is there. I don't think, however, that members of this committee should undertake a study that would involve many of these members.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you to members. We support what Mr. Desjardins has said. We want this committee to stay focused on its important work. The matters that have been raised are certainly important, but the course of action that he suggests, I think, provides an avenue that definitely is in keeping with our obligations as parliamentarians. If I understand procedure correctly, Mr. Chair, I think we need a new motion to bring to life what Mr. Desjardins has said, and to get there, I suggest that we adjourn debate on Mr. Janis's motion now and vote to that effect.
So I'm open to that, Mr. Fragaskatos. Could I hear some comments from Mr. Janis on that? Oh, just very quickly. All right, so go ahead, Mr. Janis.
So we're talking about two different things. We're talking about this committee doing a study, and we're talking about asking the Auditor General to do an audit of the Trudeau Foundation. Now, we are in favor of both of those things happening. we think the role the Auditor General will pursue is very important, but unfortunately, the Auditor General, in our view, her office hasn't been sufficiently resourced, and there are many issues that the Auditor General has been asked to study, and there is an urgency to confronting this issue now. So what we would support is passing this motion, as well as passing a separate motion, and so I think in terms of the idea of a separate motion that asks the Auditor General to do that investigation, I think that would be a separate motion. We would vote in favor of that motion. But what we're asking today is for this committee to conduct a study on an urgent basis in a timeline that will allow the public to have some degree of satisfaction in terms of what's going on. That's why we think it's important to adopt this motion as well as to consider a separate motion.
Thank you, Mr. Genuis. Mr. Fragaskatos.
We adjourn debate on Mr. Genis's motion.
Clerk, could you call that, please?
Mr. Genis.
No.
Mr. Cram.
No.
Mr. McCauley.
No, thank you.
Madame Sinclair de Gagny.
Ça clignote, excusez. Non.
Monsieur Desjarlais.
Yes.
Ms. Bradford.
Yes.
Fragiskatos.
Yes.
Ms. Shanahan.
Yes.
Mr. Sidhu.
Yes.
Ms. Yip.
Yes.
Yeas pour 6, nays contre 4.
Very good. Thank you. That is put aside for now. I'm sure members will come back. Mr. Jones, I'm going to move on to another issue. This is done for now.